Okay, this video is called Book Review, and the book is Speak to Win by Brian Tracy. He's actually, I think, the best of the self-help motivational speaker guys. Here's the first quote from his book, Speak to Win by Brian Tracy. The more you speak or write, the better you get at it. And there's no limit to how good you can get at public speaking. It's another thing I like about him. He's very positive and upbeat. Now, a couple things I think are funny is that basically, I think he's great, but I literally do the opposite of what he says on a bunch of things. The first thing he says is the most important thing for a good presentation is preparation. Don't wing it. And I'm laughing because 9 out of 10 of my presentations, I wing them. I'm working all the time. I'm busy. So I just get an idea. I pull out a note card and then I write out a thing real fast. Everything I do is a first draft. Okay. I wish I had more time. I would love to be retired or to work only 3 days a week and have time to really develop this YouTube channel. But so anyways, that's funny, I thought. Next thing he says is rule of 5 for word slides. Never have more than 5 lines per slide and never have more than 5 words per line. So I realize my slides are probably a bit of a pain in the butt because there's too many words on some of them. I try to make them at least 10 font, so hopefully they're readable. They seem to be readable on the screens I've looked at them on. In addition, I put all the lines on one page because it's kind of awkward for me to have to go to a next slide. So I try to make it, I kind of maybe overdo it, but it depends on the text and the talk. But I'm just laughing because I screw up again there. And then here's the next thing Brian Tracy says. He says, it's good to have a power pause. Take a prolonged pause after a key point or some key event in the talk. Give the audience time to understand and help avoid them becoming info overloaded. So I'm laughing because I know I don't do that and I probably go too fast. What else does Brian Tracy says? He says the audience is more visual than auditory. You got to emphasize the visual over the auditory. And he says the main difference between a presentation in person or on video compared with listening to an audiobook is they get to see your face. So make sure the audience can see your face. The gestures as you talk and the body language helps to communicate meaning. And so I'm laughing because I don't show my face in these videos lately. It's because I come home from work, I'm exhausted. I just want to crank out a video real quick. I don't want to dress up, I'm tired. But I realize the video would probably be better. And I also have to adjust the slides and make room for your face in the corner. So I'm laughing is that this guy here's this great speaker and I break every rule practically he says. But I always talk about stuff that I'm interested in, at least at that moment. So hopefully that'll generate a little interest. Let's see, what else? For a big talk, though, I'll try to have my face in the talk. If I'm given like a longer one or a special event or being interviewed or something. It gives the old Aristotle logos, ethos, and pathos. So logos is logic and credibility. People really go by credibility. If they think the speaker has good credentials, they'll believe him even if the speaker's a lying idiot, like most of the online bogus nutrition, high-fat promoters and meat and carnivore and all that stuff. Ethos, ethics, high ground, try to have that. Pathos, emotion, most important thing. And the old quote on the Greek says, when Demosthenes speaks, we are, interested, but when Alcibiades speaks, we are ready to march. Good to give a practice talk to one other person before you go on it with a bigger audience. Yeah, that always works well. Actually, a great thing to do before writing a paper, giving a talk, is just have a conversation with somebody. A lot of times that clarifies everything in an audience point of view in one's mind. The beginning is the most important part per Plato. Well begun is half done. That's a good quote. A lot of books stink because the authors don't know how to write an intro, but once you get past the intro, the book's actually good. So I try to always give the book at least 5 or 10 pages before I give up on a book, even though you can usually tell on the first page, does the author know what they're doing? Like a sign of a lightweight giving a talk is if they sit there and they give you this whole giant outline and all that kind of stuff, and they start saying all the obvious stuff. I try to get to the good stuff pretty fast. Okay, ask questions. When you ask a question, everyone's programmed sort of to try to respond to a question, and just by asking a question, it increases, interest and engagement. I think there's truth in that. A great lecture is like an enthusiastic conversation. Great speakers have high energy. Overdo it to do it well. These are all quotes from Brian Tracy in his book here. Good to have hand gestures. And he's a real good speaker. You see him, he'll come dressed. He's in a nice suit. He's energetic. He's in good physical fitness. He's upbeat and positive, warm. I like him. And his better book is Maximal Achievement. That's a great book. The Speak to Win is a very good book if you're interested in public speaking. I think it's one of the best ones. But his Maximal Achievement book is an awesome book. Okay, try to be in shape yourself. Get a little sunshine if you can. Dress well out of respect for yourself, your audience. Smile, be friendly, be warm. All that is true and good. Have a good closer if you can, because that might be the most memorable thing for the audience. The audience will remember the tone and mood of the talk. Room variables, make sure the lighting is good. You don't want just half of your face with lighting and the other half not, or you don't want lighting from above highlighting your bald head. You want it coming from in front or below. Self variables, we talked about that. Be hydrated, have a good high blood glucose level. I talked about that, drinking 32 ounces of beet juice before any of my hour or longer talks, and also chasing that down with 16 ounces of water so you're hydrated. You're more energetic that way. Get good sleep the night before. So anyways, he goes to like 5 audio CDs on every nuance you could imagine with public speaking. So if you're interested, I think you find it good. I think you find Brian Tracy good in general for motivational speaking. So anyways, hope that's helpful.